Super, super ugly. Woohoo! So ugly. Neil Young has said that his oeuvre, he didn't use that word, that his albums, when you put them all together, are like an autobiography. And he wants people to enjoy his albums, to see all the different sides of that autobiography. Like one time, he and his band worked really hard on a studio album, and then they had a party to celebrate completing the album. And they recorded some. They recorded themselves playing music together at the party. And I guess the next day they listened to the studio album that they had been celebrating the completion of, and then they listened to the recording of themselves partying, which must have been pretty high quality. And they all decided there was no comparison. They were going to make the recording of themselves partying. When apparently, I think Neil Young might have used the word lit. He was pretty lubed, lit. He'd had a lot to drink. They made that the album instead. And I think he said that was the album Tonight's the Night. Yeah, you can hear it when you're listening. It kind of sounds like it could be like a drunk guy playing music with his band, but like with amazingly good um, audio. I mean, it's like if he has a studio in his home, why wouldn't they just party in the studio, right? I don't know. It's actually, as I tell the story, it starts to sound far-fetched. I read it in the there's a book that I have, which is all the Rolling Stone interviews and art, everything about Neil Young ever in the Rolling Stone up to that date of the book is in there. So, okay, so I left yesterday. Apparently, I didn't know what I was doing when I was in a lot of neck, where neck meets shoulder pain, right there, right ouch there. And I made like 6 videos, some of which were long, and some of which I have no recollection of what was on there, hardly. And I took most of them down, even though one of the ones I took down, in other words, I made it unlisted, had 86 views, but I looked at it and I was like, that's long. I don't remember what's on there. The title is dirty and inappropriate and weird and nuts. Taking that down. I left one up that was pretty short and had 127 views, which in less than 24 hours for me is outrageous. Although something very similar happened with the naughty, sexy, naked video, which is really just me joking about how people were responding most, getting the most views for videos with the word naughty or sexy or naked in the title. I'm not at all naked. I mean, I kind of exposed one shoulder briefly, and it didn't even look hot. It looked too chubby. It's totally a joke. The only sexy thing about it is at the end I kind of said, bye, bye. That's not that big a deal. Turn on your TV, you will see a woman being more sexy and appealing than that, or equally so. Just watch Mike and Molly if you don't mind women who are Rubens-esque. Melissa McCarthy plays an unbelievably charming woman with great taste in lipstick, who really knows how to rock. She's got great lips. She really knows how to rock some lipstick in that TV show. It's great to see a TV show where Melissa McCarthy is not making fun of herself for being an overweight woman. She's playing a beautiful, vibrant, overweight woman who's in love with a man who adores her. They met in OA, Overeaters Anonymous. That's a good show. The secondary characters, other than the sister, are pretty awful. The sister's good. As she evolves, she gets good. First of all, she's fun, even when she's not, pardon me, very evolved. And then his friend, who becomes her boyfriend for a while, he's pretty good as a African American cop. He's a real womanizer or ladies' man. And one time he says, I don't want to have that guy staying at my apartment. He might get like pubes in the soap. I mean, it's hot when a chick does it, but if it happens with a guy, you got to throw out the whole bar. I love that. But like Mike's mother, Molly's mother's somewhat younger husband, the laugh track, bad sitcom stuff. But Mike and Molly is a good sitcom despite those flaws. Anyway, what am I even talking about? Oh yeah, I'm just saying that, me going, bye, bye, is no big deal. I mean, watch How I Met Your Mother. the woman who plays Robin Scherbatsky. She also plays Maria Hill in The Avengers. Kobe Smulders. What a great name for a smoldering hot woman. She's so much more beautiful, like in 3 seconds of screen time than anything I could accomplish. She's like Helen of Troy. She's gorgeous. Anyway, so I'm sick. That's why I'm in bed. I'm sick. Let's see, pillow is a little yellow. This pillow used to belong to my grandkids. That's why they wrote their last name on it, which I guess out of discretion I won't mention their last name. It's different than mine. Because it's my stepdaughter's kids, and she's married to a guy with a different name than her. I think she eventually took his name because she was mad at her dad. Okay, no ring today, and I'm too sick to get up and get it. Kitty, you want to be on camera? I can't see you. Will you purr for the people? Will you purr for the people, Kitty? What is this thing? Why does this thing want me sticking in my face? That was Mia. So this is this chapter in the autobiography. I'm sick. I was having just terrible pain, and I guess it's gone away. It kind of moved. Like if there are a lot of things you can do just through inner work, bringing breath into the area, learning when you can't bring that much breath because you're actually just exacerbating the pain, figuring out the right amount of breath, the right amount of focus. I studied this kind of thing for 11 years with Doug Moorhead, MD, my neo-Reichian therapist. And at the time, I didn't think I could do it, but sometimes things happen under the surface. I would say now that I can do exactly what I trained with him to be able to do. I can put my consciousness in different parts of my body, and I can affect change, but not at all quickly or seamlessly. So what I think happened is that somewhere along the way, while I was watching YouTube videos, which used to be my hobby and is now kind of like an occupation, because I'm part of that community now. And when I comment on a video, people don't just see Jude Steiner Hall commenting, they see Jude Steiner Hall, the Candor channel. I found myself signing a letter to a potential new therapist, Jude Ann Hall, today. I wonder if, it's 3 years and a month and a half after my late husband passed away. Do I want to be known as Steiner Hall in private forever? I'm going to stick with that in public because I run 2 active Facebook groups, although not really active enough, and 1 fledgling Facebook group that is meant to be smaller and more intimate, but at this point it's just smaller and virtually dead in the water. Plus now a YouTube channel, and yeah, so Jude Steiner Hall is my identity. I'm going to stick with that. And Janae Marks used to be my creative writing identity. That's Jenae, which has a vaguely Greek quality to the spelling and a more French quality to the pronunciation. It is after Jean Genet. And Marx, M-A-R-K-S, I'm now embarrassed to say I was thinking of Karl Marx, who I still thought we could redeem Marx's theory. We could be neo-Marxists, but I don't think so anymore. I think he just screwed the pooch too hard. Sorry I know there's still some Marxists out there. Hey, PM me, write in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion. I just think I think Max Weber was on the money that Marx, it doesn't make sense. You literally said the state will disappear. That didn't happen. The state got huge and powerful and oppressive. Not just under Stalin, before and after Stalin too. Come on, let's be honest. And he said that communism would solve the problem of the human subject-object dichotomy. That's preposterous. We will always have that problem. It's like Zeno's paradox. We will only progressively solve it more and more and more. This side of paradise, there's no perfection this side of paradise, as a Christian might say. We will never not have the subject-object dichotomy problem, except, immediately after sex or after writing something great or getting published or, peak or a wonderful conversation. Or suddenly discovering that you have 127 views on a video that's not completely humiliating. There are peak moments when we won't feel alienated from ourselves, but most of the time we do, unless we're kind of pathologically overconfident, in which case we don't realize that we do until we're dying, and we're telling people that we're eager to die, and next thing you know, we're crying because, yeah, that was very personal. That's what happened with a person close to me 3 years and a month and a half ago. Okay, so this is this installment of the autobiography, and there are way too many videos on this phone. I'm going to be reluctant to delete them. It's a big problem. It's not a phone, it's a tablet. It's a big problem. I might just publish this one without the blush or the glamour or the pop filter. I don't think any of the filters, because it seems decent, except for the shadow on my cheek. It seems decent. I'd like to keep it as honest as possible. Keeping it real. I'm not crazy by that expression. I like to keep it as candid. What is that? Oh, it's the tablet itself is casting a shadow on me. I like to keep it as candid as possible. Okay, bye. Oh, I wish I'd done more with the teddy bear in my PTSD and traumatic brain injury video. This is, what's your name, honey? This is Sunshine Puppy Pup. My only regret about taking those inappropriate videos down is that it looks like my Red Bull Beanie Buddy, who is not here in bed. He's out there in the staging area. Excuse me. Was in some of those videos, and that would have been just so cute. One time I wrote something about Terrence Malick's movie, um, the one where we go back in history to the creation of the universe and then to the dinosaur era. And I wrote something about that on Facebook, and my boyfriend wrote "Snort!" exclamation point, referencing my little Red Bull. And I was just like, how did he make the connection between a dinosaur and my little Red Bull? And remember little Red Bull's name. And back then I used to sleep with my little Red Bull across my neck every day for comfort. I'm having a memory that makes me mad about somebody being indiscreet about that. My husband and I were in Carmel, and I was like, oh, I hope the guy who carried our bags didn't see my little stuffed animal. And he was like, he definitely did. And I was like, I didn't need to know that. This is the first day of this is my birthday, and this is the first day of our 24-hour vacation. I didn't need to know that. You know how it is. You arrive you never get a full 24 hours in a hotel. That's not possible. Oh, wow, cheekbones. Not bad. Almost Cobie Smulders-esque. She's more chiseled. My cheekbones are more rounded, but pretty high. Yeah, people have thought that I have Native American, including my grandmother thinks that her whole family does. But oh, a French trapper married a squaw, and we're French and Native American. Yeah, you and every other person whose ancestor oppressed those people, and now you want to co-opt them because it's glamorous. It's glamorous. It's silly. Very unlikely. And besides, it wouldn't explain that. Oh, these are from my mom. Well, my mom and dad weirdly look alike. If you could get past the fact that their coloring is completely opposite. They used to walk arm in arm, and people would call them the Bobbsey twins. So I said goodbye, and I talked for 2 minutes. Bye. Live long and prosper. Bye. Bye. Bye.